Hey, how's it going? Hope all is well. Nice to see you. Keep it moving. If I do not introduce you to that man, that is a cosign that if you see that man out and about, don't have conversations with him. If I introduce you to that person, that's because I fuck with this person. I trust this person. I vetted this person. You know what I'm saying? He is good people. You know what I'm saying? Like, hi, this is my significant other. This is my wife, et cetera, et cetera. And I think that right there is something that isn't talked about enough, because unfortunately earlier today I heard somebody like, well, you're not going to introduce you. Not everybody needs to be introduced. Not everybody is a friend. How you?
Hey, if I can piggyback off that too, I think a big part to be aware of in situations like that is to see how your spouse and that friend interacts. You know, how is this friend super touchy? You know, are they super giggly? You know, what's the interactions? Is he more interested in me, or is all of his attention focused on my girl? You know, those little things to me will indicate always if this is a actual friend, or if this a nigga that's just sticking around waiting for me to slip or something. So I think that it's important to be aware of that on both sides, you know, because then it's evident. And if you don't see it, then I think that is neutral. I think that it's also important to be confident in yourself and also in the spouse that you chose, because at the end of the day, even if he is on that, he can't get no action unless she go. And if she go, then she, you know what I'm saying? She let you know what it is. So I think that it's important to be aware, not to be paranoid, but just to simply be aware. Feel free to ask questions. You know, ask the friend questions. You know, be avid to get to know them, because if that is a friend, and if you commonly see them, then shit, all right, I'm gonna interact with them and see what type of person he is, and then from there we can make the decision on if I feel comfortable with it or if I don't feel comfortable with it.
All right, go ahead, Kelly.
Yeah, so I've met men from all walks of life, and I do have male friends and I have female friends. I remember a situation years ago when I used to call one of my male friends to meet me out all the time. He was cool with everybody. We had mutual friends. He was cool with everybody, fun to go out with. And at the end of the night, I was on my way home, and then he kind of approached me in a way where I'm like, wait a minute, like this ain't that, you know? So it's about what Biz said, the accessibility. You have to set boundaries with certain people. Now, we are still genuinely friends, and he's never approached me in that way, but some male friends can be in that friend zone, ready to approach. Not all of them, but some can. It's happened before. It's just the reality of it. Not everybody, but it's true. Why are you laughing at, Hink?
I wanted to ask you, are y'all genuinely friends?
I'll speak on it.
Well, okay, so this had to be at least 20 years ago. I'm not a kid, so let's put that out there.
It still extend into the present age that you're in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That those types of relationships can still harbor up to the age that you're personally at, although you feel it was a long time ago. Sometimes people still harbor feelings You know what I'm saying? People still harbor feelings that they haven't quite worked out, that they're still haven't. Look, I've known people who have harbored this feeling that they like this person, that they're friends for 15, 20 years. And like, I mean, from like 15, they're like in their 30s or whatever. And they're like, I never got the chance to tell you, but I really always liked you. You know what I'm saying? I had this feeling that I couldn't shake. And it just took them so long to summon up the courage to get that off their chest and just finally say it, whether they get embraced or whether they get rejected, whatever the case. But for them to let it fester for that much tells you how long people are sometimes willing to wait for the right opportunity.
Right, and that's what happened, and I didn't allow access. So the question had to do with, are men waiting on the side for an opportunity? Can they be friend zone, right? Or do you feel like friend zone is a thing?
Can they be your friend? Can men and women be friends? In that situation, he's not really a friend then, right? Because he already tried something with you, which means that
he already tried, but I didn't allow it.
Which is fine. Yeah,
right.
You didn't allow it, but I'm saying his perspective, his mentality, like Louise is saying, even though you didn't allow it then, and in years, he's still not a genuine friend, because none of your girlfriends would try it with you, right? Like a real friend isn't going to try to cross those boundaries with you. That's what
I think it just depends on attraction, like they talked about. Every man is not attracted to me.
Then that's not.
Chicks are trying too. It's 2024.
Yeah, he's waiting on something.
Okay,
right?
Well,
and if you just like the girl on the video said, if you call him today, and come on, I thought about it. I want you to come meet me. Let's do this.
Yeah, no.
So that's not really a friend.
So it's an associate.
Yeah, he cool.
Okay,
got it. Cool for you.
Okay,
you like, but he's not really your friend.
And it's okay to demote people. It's okay to demote people. People were in the friend, now they're an associate, then they move down to an acquaintance. Like life, like the friends that you've had for 10 plus years that get to move into the family circle, like this is family. Like we're in through. Like when I spoke about earlier about our parents know each other, our families know each other. We've spent holidays, Christmas, and stuff like that, and we're invested into each other. Those are people who will go from friends to family, right? And it's okay to demote people out of your life that don't really deserve or reside in that kind of space for you to give them the kind of time or energy that they are looking for. People have to be also to make those kind of judgment moves too.
Okay, well, I won't debate about titles, but I will put my experience out there and just say that I do feel like men can be attracted to you as a friend and they can cross the line, but it's about how you make yourself available.
It's go time.
Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. We gon' come and see about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it. Extra read about it. Say you wanna beef about it. Find out nothing sweet about it. Flexing ain't discreet about it.
What's going on, family? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What it do? What it do? You know, Closet Baddie has been patiently waiting. She's been working on her patience, so I'll give it up for Closet Baddie for working on her patience, y'all. Yeah, progress, man. Making progress in 2024. I love to see that, man. I love to see our Black women just be a little bit more patient with us now. So salute to you, Closet Baddie, for being the one to set the tone for the whole panel. We're going to be patient today. So if you're long-winded, we got a timer for you. But we're going to be patient. But the timer just going to put a little bit of pressure on you. I'm not naming anybody in particular. You guys know who you are. If you are able to take, I believe it's 170 breaths in your monologue, then you probably went a little bit too far over. So while you guys are giving your perspectives this evening, count your breaths. Whoever said Jay, I ain't taught you nothing now. With that being said, man, let's go to get this show started. I'm glad to see you guys on this Wednesday. We've been doing it, what, 3 or 4 weeks now? How many weeks has it been? Anybody know?
About 4 weeks, maybe.
Okay.
5.
I guess y'all would have all responded if I said I had a prize that I was giving away. Everybody would have probably found a way to research and go back and I got it.
Yeah, I think it's 4.
It's 4. I appreciate that. We've been going for about a month. Crystal Mattress says a month. So salute to you for that. I'm happy. I'm excited, man. It's a new flavor. I often get asked all the time, is this the new Thursdays? They said that for Sunday. They said it for last week. They said, was this the new Thursday? So I don't know why everybody wants to compete with a Thursday show. This is just Wednesday energy. We got Sunday energy with Hink, and we got Wednesday energy with Hink. So the one thing we can say about Hink is that he is consistent on every single panel that he is on. It's a lot of hurt.
Be the same every day of the week.
Yeah,
It don't change.
Yep. And I also get the reports on Hink as well directly after the show, sometimes even during the show. So shout out to Hink for just being authentically him. Hink might be getting a detention today. I just got that feeling. Somebody's feelings maybe hurt today. Sometimes the truth hurt, right, Hink? The truth hurts. Right on. Y'all leave me hanging, so I'm gonna have the conversation.
Yeah, I got you, big brother. Right on.
There you go. I'm about to start putting a little bit of work on my material because my jokes is not hitting today. Anyhow, shout out to the sponsor, T Shannon, Uncomplicated Skincare for Men, 40% off, along with a free gift. And if you become a member, you get 20% off for life. We also have your beard care needs, Assure Man King on top. If your beard is not connecting, if it is struggling, if your woman is complaining that it's not soft, and if you are a woman on the panel that do have a man with a rough beard, this is the solution. Click that link that's pinned to the top of the chat or click the link that's in the description. Go ahead and let's take care of men. Men deserve to be treated as well. We deserve to have them spa days and self-care days. We need it. And we also need peace as well. So peace can also be included in that package. Sure, man, teach, and peace. I like the sound of that. If you haven't already hit the like button, also make sure you subscribe to the channel. HR is in the building. So for anyone that feels offended, and it don't have to be direct, right? Somebody can feel offended just by what the person says on the side of you. If that is the case, we do have a hurt feelings report. It's a real thing. So if you guys have any issues, feel free to email info@lapeef.com or feel free to reach out to HR because he is on site today. Now that we set the tone and we got everything in order, let's get this show started. It's a tough crowd today, I see, huh?
It's Wednesday.
Okay,
This is Wednesday.
If it's me, let me know. If it's just not hidden, just let me know so I can go ahead and correct the issue. Is it a me thing?
I'm just getting my breaths in.
He's over there doing breath exercises.
I guess him and Shannon-Sharpe
breathing exercises.
I guess him and Shannon-Sharpe both can get in the breath. So we're gonna go ahead and open it up with that, man. Shannon-Sharpe went viral today for an incident that took place on his Instagram Live. According to him, it wasn't him. That was the initial response. He said that his page was hacked. If you guys had something unexpected happen, would you guys be real quick to say that it wasn't you? Hypothetically, if you had a situation that was similar or something that was out of the norm, and your coworkers and friends and family stumbled across it, would you say that wasn't you? If it didn't have any proof, would you guys just own up to it and be like, yeah, I messed up?
I mean, could I go to jail for it?
No, I don't think you're going to jail for it. I don't think nothing was shown that was inappropriately.
Now, I mean, I'll own it. I feel like I'll only, discredit myself if I can get into some legal trouble,
All right.
A wise man once said, if the glove doesn't fit, you must quit.
Okay.
I'm sure that glove was fitting all right.
Well, let's see what Luis is laughing about. Let me go ahead and play this.
Can y'all clarify this for me before you play it? Because I know what you're playing. I wasn't sure when they said that it was hacked. Does that mean that he's saying it was hacked and that was fake, or it was hacked and it was personal and it got leaked?
I don't think that it was fake. I think it was real. But when he said it was hacked, he was saying it wasn't him. So that's how I took it. And I believe that most people that read those messages and see on the vlogs and said, hey, some unusual things took place on my IG. I don't know what happened. It wasn't me. I was hacked. But when I heard the voice, and we've been hearing Shannon Sharpe on ESPN and on his sports show with Ocho, it sounded like it might have been him. It might have been really tough to excuse that one, but here it is. Let's go ahead and play it, and then we'll go ahead and react. Please refrain from laughing. This is a serious matter.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I love it. Yes, baby. Yes, Papa. Oh, shit.
I guess that might have been it, huh?
There you go, Michelle. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. Put that dick in here. I'm gonna put this dick in here. You know what I like? You know what I like. There you go, right there. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. There you go, baby. That's my Michelle. That's my Michelle.
Shout out to Michelle. All right. So, shout out to Michelle, man. So when a man kisses a woman afterwards, it means he kind of care about her, gentlemen. That a sign of care?
It might be, yeah.
Okay.
Little kiss.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you guys from refraining from busting out in laughter, man. But that was the long version. So extended version that I just played. It was my first time hearing the entire thing. I didn't listen to it. I heard the short version, but that was the long version. So what do you guys think, man, about this? I know it's not really too much we can really expand on it, but got to be careful with that social media, man. Got to be careful.
Well, shout out to Michelle for being the first woman this week in America to be fully satisfied. I'm sure she's going to leave a tip on top of the dresser when she left that day. Nah, but on a serious tip, I think he might have just, unfortunately, some people just don't lock their phones and they have all the apps open. And it might have been one of those situations where you just went live or hit record and you didn't even notice. Like you butt dial somebody or your phone like is sending like a bunch of like mistaken, she knows all too well. And I think he might have just probably didn't realize. He probably got caught in the moment, put the phone down and it recorded. I don't think that it was hacked because, I mean, I was trying to listen very carefully outside of all the noise, like his tonality, and it sounded like him or gave the essence of him. I mean, like it couldn't have been a deep fake voice, like and for somebody to go through all that trouble, right, while he went live, I just think, like, look, man, just own it, bro. Just be like, yeah, y'all just caught me slipping. You know what I'm saying? Y'all caught me slipping, doing my thing, and that's what it is. Like, but don't come out and saying I got hacked. It was AI and all these other excuses, man. It's embarrassing, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering because I know you're supposed to go live today and elaborate on what exactly happened, but I'm wondering if it was strategic. I'm wondering if this was something that was intentionally created for whatever reason. Maybe I heard his sexuality is being questioned, so maybe it was to silence that. But it got the internet riled up. I mean, I know he has some fantastic podcasts, but this is what everybody's talking about. So I'm just wondering if it was strategic.
Well, I think if it was strategic, it worked. Because everybody's talking about it. Shout out to Shannon-Sharpe. Sounds like he put in work. And Michelle was satisfied. I mean,
I'm sure he got a lot of requests after that.
To me, did it sound like it was low vibrational?
So women are okay with like 10 minutes, like 8 minutes. You guys can be satisfied in like 8-10 minutes. Is that what I'm hearing?
Oh wait, I didn't say.
Well, you said she seemed like she was satisfied.
I said it sounds like she was satisfied. That little snippet that was there, I mean, who knows if it was an extended version or somebody caught the very end of it. I don't know. Are you asking women in general, are they satisfied in 8 minutes?
I was just wondering if that was a thing. I think Gilly went on there and was saying that Shannon-Sharpe put in a good 16 minutes. He was joking around about it, but I guess it is a question that could be answered if anybody willing to answer, because it is some conversations that happen surrounding it where women saying he's doing all these quickies, he's not lasting long enough. But from what it sounds like, a woman can be satisfied in 10 minutes.
I think it all depends on the woman. Everybody's body is different. Everybody's energy with the person that they're with is different. So, and even for women, a day-to-day can be different depending on how you're feeling. So, I mean, for some, 8 minutes can be great, but for others, they might need a little more.
All right.
So that was what was being called the question, was the length of the video?
No, that was just something that was just a spinoff of what we was talking about, but we should still talk about the viral moments. So if you want to respond to whatever, whether it be the length of it and or your thoughts about seeing that Shannon-Sharpe audio.
Yeah, I don't think it was hacked. I'm kind of like wondering whose phone it is. That's the first thing that came to mind. Like, whose phone is it? Is it his phone or is it her phone? It seemed like they strategically placed it that it was close, near, that it was like you could hear the audio clear, but then it was no actual video of anybody doing any acts. So if he came out and said that he was hacked, then I don't know. I don't believe that. I believe that just in this moment, he had to just find a way to act like, it wasn't me. And maybe it could have been like, just to get attention, or, to start something viral to bring people, back to your channel or back to talking to you. People are doing the wildest things today for attention. So.
Yeah, well, you said that they were saying something about his sexuality, right?
Yeah. That's something that's always been a question. With the man bags, purses, his mannerisms, carrying that puppy around the airport.
I never thought he was gay.
Well, what about suspect?
I didn't get that type of energy just by watching him the few times that I had. Like, I didn't see what maybe somebody else saw. Did you all think that? Do you all get those vibes from Shannon Sharpe? Hello?
I don't follow him enough to know.
خلاص كلش اوكي.
Bro.
I mean, good for Michelle. Like, good for Michelle.
Bro, what?
I mean, I didn't get gay or suspect vibes. And I just feel like the video kind of, if it was made to make us think about something else, I think it worked.
Stealth marketing. People do it all the time.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ms. Stegan. I'm sorry. I think we cut you off.
I don't even know what I was going to say. I forgot. That was funny.
I mean, I think the video just makes him more likable overall. Everybody's talking about it. Nobody's saying anything negative about it.
The comment said Unc needs to put away his phone.
Well, somebody did do some research, and they went through the people that he was following, and it came across. So I put on my Black Woman Detective First 48 hat and found the Michelle that Shannon Sharpe was live with. It only took me all of 5 minutes introducing Shelly straight from Shannon Sharpe's 431 followers. Tighten up, Unc. Shannon Sharpe, this her? ? And then she did respond back and said, my name is Michelle. Very close. Not Michelle. Nobody calls me that. That is not me.
Sure.
Right. If it was, I don't think she'll come out and say, hey, I'm the Michelle that was with Shannon.
Oh, she did kind of look.
خلاص كلش اوكي.
Yeah, she did kind of look Hispanic or Puerto Rican, whoever that was in the video. She definitely sounded like she was, of Latino descent. So, I mean, that should be the first clue, I would think. But shorty in the picture, you can't really tell. But
I mean, I didn't know you can moan in Latino.
Right.
It was the accent.
Something.
It was it was the cadence in her voice.
Yeah, it's the accent.
The fact
So
that
she
you
had an
all
accent
even
and moan.
noticed
Okay. All right. Okay.
Y'all ain't hear that? That sounded loud and clear to me. Shit.
I guess you were tuned in, huh?
And see, for me, it sounded fake.
It did. Okay. It did. It did sound fake. It sounded like she was giving him whatever he needed to hear for him to get done.
Either that or
that's
she
what I got
knew
out of
it was recorded.
Yeah,
and she
yep.
put it on performance
Because it
for the-
didn't sound genuine. It was it was like Pornhubish, you know.
Well,
It
you
was
know,
like
some women
waiting
do
to
fake it.
excelish with all
Some
that
women
growling.
fake it.
Well, I mean, you know, just based on the audio that we just all heard, right? It didn't sound like he was right into it. It sounded like he was probably performing on her, right? Like he was, you know, eating her out. That's what I got in the beginning.
What?
And then, you know what I'm saying, he switched up. But I just didn't. You would at least, like, tell me if I'm crazy. You would have thought you at least would have heard the southern sound, right? In terms of just the overall audio, because we heard everything, even the AC playing in the background.
I mean, you
heard her
listen
giving
very
him
hard.
head.
I have good
I
ears.
heard that part. I heard her with him, if you know what I'm saying without saying it.
What are you saying?
Mic check. I heard that in the background.
You heard
her mic checking.
Yeah, I feel like I could hear that too in part
Right?
of it.
I didn't hear that. I missed that
What do they
part.
call it?
I missed that part.
I missed that part. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, I didn't hear that either. I thought she was talking about me.
I mean, honestly, unless I missed it, the only audio I heard was voices. Like I ain't hear none of that. You know, I didn't hear no mouth sounds. You know, I just heard audio, her audio, and his growling, and saying, Michelle. That's what I heard.
When y'all get a chance, play it again. Y'all to hear it. You'll be
Yeah.
like, how did I miss that the first time?
Yeah, I think when I listened to it earlier, I heard what you heard. Mistaken.
Okay, so you heard somebody say mic check?
I heard that type of sound. Yes.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, y'all heard that, but y'all didn't hear accent.
Okay, play it again.
Yo, that's
Like,
yo,
wait,
Biz,
what?
that's the part that got me hanging out the window.
I mean, because you heard everything. You heard the AC, so you should have been able to detect.
Well, clearly that probably cut in and out because,
Selective listening.
well, maybe perhaps.
All right, I'm not gonna play it. It's in the beginning because I want to play the whole thing, but it's in the beginning.
I don't know when, but
from the short version, the part with
the short version.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the beginning short version.
It's on the short version of the one I played. Or it's another one that's out there because I
The
didn't.
one that you played was longer than the one that I had saw earlier. It was the shorter part.
Okay. I guess we have to take your word from it because I'm not sure if it's in that one or not. I mean, I could try to play it and see if we hear it in the beginning.
No, it's not in the beginning of the one that you played.
Okay. Yeah. We have to go back and review that one. But nevertheless, man, if it was strategic, if it was a mic check, I think it worked to get everybody's attention. Everybody's talking about it. And just when you thought the internet was dead today, Hunt came and pulled this one out. And so I guess everybody be tuned in tonight. And we'll be hearing about on the blogs about what really happened. It was funny. It was funny. And that goat, that was hilarious, man. Whoever sent that to Lil Duval and they posted that one, man. I was in
the camel.
That was a camel, bro.
That was a camel.
I do want to say one thing though, right?
What'd I say, goat?
Yeah. It was a goat camel.
You was talking about Shannon when you said the goat. I know what you meant, bro. I know
Yeah. You said they tried to shit on you, man. They supposed to be trying to pick me up and gave me correction right on the panel. I see what Kenny talking about now.
So hold on, I want to say
Shout out
something
to the
real quick. I know that I was saying that. Oh, she definitely, sounded Latina from the moans. So this is the thing. Some women and men, they have sexual alter egos. Okay.
Wait, so what's yours?
So what you said? She had a wig on.
I said
She had
some.
they were role
We're not
playing.
talking about me right now.
What you do, Swahili?
They were role playing.
Swahili or something?
I'm just saying. All right, fine.
She was Puerto Rico that day. He picked her up at the Havana Club. Is that where we're going?
Listen, I'm serious right now. This is a serious topic. All right. Some people have preferences. So you know, that man or woman may be like, hey, I like to hear this, or I want you to sound like this. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. So ladies, you never had a man that want you to call him Poppy, or like, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here.
He was roaring, so maybe she asked him to roar like.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So if she wanted him to play a Middle Eastern dude, would he say Habibi too?
Listen, maybe y'all boring and y'all don't like to role play and dress up and stuff. I'm just saying some people do.
I mean, role play
yes,
a thing.
yes, right there.
Role play is a thing. Don't act like y'all don't know that.
I know, right?
Stop being all stiff. What's going on? Y'all okay today?
Yeah. Let me say this. It sounds like some of y'all ladies want to test the metal. Y'all sound like y'all a little jealous of Michelle, and y'all wish y'all was in that goddamn position. That's what it sounds like.
I ain't never jealous of Michelle.
I said good for
She was
Michelle.
being authentic and true to herself from what I heard as a woman. I'm just saying.
Y'all gonna sit there and say that shit was fake. He wasn't giving it to her like that. Then y'all worry about how long he was giving it to her. You know, hey, look here, man. I'm gonna say this. You don't give a hoe no goddamn long time anyway. You get it as long as you get your nut and get the fuck on out. That's what you do for a hoe.
Okay,
and that's what he did. He fucking got her. That's what he did. What he should have did. I'm not gonna last long for her. I'm just trying to get it till I get mine, and you can get the hell on. Give a kiss on the cheek.
She was a hoe.
I mean, he was kissing her.
He was kissing her. So, I mean, do you kiss hoes? Do you kiss her? Like what I'm saying, my understanding.
Y'all kiss hoes now. Y'all kiss hoes all the time. Your man might be a hoe. You kiss him.
Who said Michelle was a hoe?
I'm not saying she was or she wasn't, but he did what he should have treated her like a hoe. He fucking got up. You don't look her.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I'm fucking. I'm gonna get up. If it's 10 minutes, that's all she deserves. That's all she deserves. She don't deserve to be made love to. I don't love you to make love to you.
So just because it's a lengthy amount of time, that means you making love?
I mean, clearly it sounded like one position. That's it.
Y'all complaining about how long he did was just 10 minutes. Well, he just fucking for 10 goddamn minutes. He gave it the strokes he needed to give her for them 10 minutes, and he got it up through.
Maybe he couldn't last past 10 minutes. Maybe that's the thing.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to last that long for a hoe. The hoe don't deserve that long.
3 pumps in a swirl. That's all you give him.
Who on the panel complained about 10 minutes, though?
Y'all was complaining about how long he was going. If you complain about it, it sounds like it's an issue for you. He only went 10 minutes. He only went this long. Oh, okay.
I don't.
Hey, it could have been a morning session before work.
I asked her the question of is 10 minutes long enough for you? Why do you think he asked that question? Because it sounded like y'all was having an issue where he just went 10 minutes.
You know, I specifically said it depends on the woman. For some women, 10 minutes is great. For others, it's not. That's not saying you're okay with it, but it's not, you know.
I don't know no 10 minute man. I'm sorry.
We need a vote on this, man. If you need a half hour or more, man, raise your hand.
A what?
A half hour or more.
It depends on what we're doing.
A half hour. I mean, I'm just saying some people go an hour or better. That's all I got to say. I'm gonna mute myself.
I think it depends, right? Because like, what if they're like Ali said, like, what if they were just having like a morning session or just a little lunch break kind of rendezvous? You know, if there's a time frame or a time limit, what if you got kids and kids is around? You know, like people do things like that. So you don't want to necessarily just say that because it was however long it is that determines how that person feel about you per se.
I don't know. Sometimes it's like it may go a little bit longer, depending on the experience.
Truth be told, for most women, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, it's always quality over quantity anyway. So regardless of how long it takes, if it's quality, it doesn't matter. If you get quality in 5 minutes, you're good. If quality comes in 40 minutes, you're good. So really that's the focus, is the quality of it, not necessarily the quantity.
I mean, I agree with you. I don't know if I've ever had quality in 5 minutes, but I see your point.
So have you had a lot of quality?
I absolutely have.
I believe that.
Yeah, I have.
Hey, Hicks, she hit you with the lean in, man. Be careful.
Look, no need to be careful. She said she had a lot of quality. And I agree with her. I believe her.
Okay, well, since you asked that question to the women, how long do you think is a good time to provide a session for a woman?
I don't know. You got to ask my wife about that.
Not you, Luis. He asked the question.
Well, I mean, if we're considering everything from foreplay to multiple sex positions, I think I'm a little bit different, man. Maybe 45. With all the changing and all that, yeah, like 45 plus. Because you like obviously
you to take you seriously.
And some days, like some days, it's like I get it. Like some dudes say like 30 minutes. Obviously, I don't expect nobody to go pound town for like 15 minutes straight. Like obviously, like this.
What are you talking about?
And, there's obviously foreplay in between of everything like that. And I think the time builds up. You could easily do like 30 minutes, 45, and sometimes an hour, depending on how creative you both want to go or how freaky you want to go. So I just think that it depends on the level of chemistry at that point too. Because some people might just want a little bit and be out of there.
Yeah, I think it depends on the chemistry, the timing, the energy. Every day is not going to be the same. But if Unc said he was hacked, he was hacked.
I haven't even ever heard of a hack happening that way, because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know, what we were talking about, because I've been out the loop these last 2 days, just getting ready for a big event. And in my head, while I'm listening about these hacking, I do know how powerful AI is these days too, though, but that wasn't AI.
No, you have to edit the video and have a generative tool. I just researched that today.
That was no AI. That was no hack. I feel like he could have. I feel like he could have done better. Could have been a better excuse.
Yeah, he didn't.
That was
and this is the thing though, because I feel like men's in sounds are typically their in sounds. So anybody who has been with that man who's following him, they know that's him because they know them sounds. So
maybe there'll be some women out there that can validate if it's real or not.
I just want to say that because I think, Louis, we had a conversation about this before on one of the other shows about the 50 million flipping the positions. That's no bueno. Not saying it has to be one position, but if you're trying to, as a woman, I'm just speaking from a woman's side, it's easier for you as a guy to get where you need to go, right? So it don't matter what position, you're straight. But for some women's bodies, the flipping and the dipping, it takes a little longer for us to get there. So anytime you switch a dip, it's like starting over. I just want to throw that out there.
Well, I think it's also important to ensure, I think it's very important that she gets hers before you get yours, right? And especially if you're going to transition, all right, I'm going to transition and pivot, but she got hers in this position or in this, setup. You change it into another one, right? And you just kind of go from there. I think, I think communication and also understanding that your person's body language in that moment is very important, especially if you're in the moment and you're in tune. Obviously, you're picking up on a lot of these things. It's not, hopefully, people are not blindfolded going through these things, but you never know.
All right, we're gonna switch gears,
you know why we do that, right? You know, it's a reset for us too. You realize that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, but what I'm saying, if our goals are the same, you're gonna need another reset by the time she gets where, because you're starting over from square one almost when you're doing that.
Nah, we just treat it like halftime. We got the bucket of water with the electrolytes, with the fresh towel off to the sides. You put up a triple double in the first half. About to close it out.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and switch gears, man. Let me get to these super chats. I guess for you, just hit a cyberstalk MJ. That's all. Carry on. You got a stalker? Bounce back Jack, $5. Get the likes up, hurry up, or else MJ won't let me have her baby. Y'all want me to be a 56-year-old cat man? So cruel. Get them likes up. Item out. Prime VA 7575 $5. These women are just saying anything, claiming she is faking and don't even know her. LOL. Action Jackson 199 says he just said it was not fake. Okay, yeah. So I know he went live, so he just said it wasn't fake. And he finally came out with the truth. So I'll be looking forward to looking a little bit into that. We're gonna see it on the vlogs. Guys, just tuning in. Welcome. Hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Miss Park, I see you. What Next TV? Chardo Reeves, Lou, I see you. JMK, Lexicon, Alton Bryce, Torrance. Welcome, everybody. We'll go ahead and switch gears and talk about Jonathan Majors. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with this story or not, but Megan Good allegedly pays for everything for Jonathan Majors amid his career hit following abuse and harassment conviction. The divorce in the Black Star had reportedly been taking care of her boyfriend, Jonathan Majors' financial obligations. According to the source, Megan Good, 43, began supporting the former Marvel actor after his career took a hit for allegedly abusing his ex-girlfriend, Grace Jabari. You may recall Jonathan Majors, 35, was arrested in March 2023 for charges of strangulation, assault, and harassment following the domestic dispute with his ex. He was ultimately found guilty of reckless assault in the third degree and harassment. Following the allegations, Majors was dropped by his management company and public relations firms. In addition, the United States Army pulled the ads that ran starring Majors, and he lost his acting work, including his role as Kang the Conqueror for Marvel. Unfortunately for the actor, those consequences have seemingly direct impacted his wallet. A source said Megan pays for everything. They really wanted this dog, and she got stuck paying $75,000 training bill. Like, that's crazy. The source also noted that the actress allegedly pays child support for Major's young daughter from a previous relationship. They added, no one knows what Megan sees in this guy. If things keep up this way, she may not be able to pay her mortgage. TMZ did report as well, and this came out today. A rep from Jonathan Majors tells TMZ Jonathan is excited to get back out in front of the fans who appreciate and love the Kang storyline and lore, and he can't wait to see some friendly faces. Jonathan Majors is turning to a new business venture following his fall from grace last year, attending his first ever convention to sell his signature for a healthy price. The disgraced Marvel actor was found guilty of the misdemeanor third-degree assault and second-degree harassment in December. Is set to appear in the famous Monster Fest in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. Hopefully I said that correctly. Sunday, where he will be selling autographs for $140 each. He'll also have signed pro shot picks available for purchase for a whopping $160. So it seems like he's out there hustling. He's selling this autograph for $140. The first time I seen this, I was thinking to myself, who would want a $140 autograph from Jonathan Majors? Is that a thing? Is he somebody that you guys think people would be seeking to have that autograph? What are you guys' thoughts about this?
I think that, I have a lot of experience in the casino industry. So in my 10 years, anytime you do a meet and greet, typically it's for the VIPs that have already well paid. So it's quite interesting that he's charging per picture. He obviously needs the money, but yeah, I never saw it ever in my 10 years where we had a performer have the VIPs or anybody in the meet and greet pay for the picture. So you might pay for a ticket for the event, but you don't have to pay in addition for the picture.
So what is Chris Brown charging?
They do this all the time. This is nothing new.
Chris Brown sings.
Let's not make a comparison. That this is not apples and apples. Chris Brown.
Yeah, I think Chris Brown is
in the hotel convention with a banquet table and a tablecloth sitting there with a pen.
But see, that's the thing about it. This ain't nothing new. They do it all the time. Athletes, former athletes, current athletes, former actors, old actors, retired actors. They do this shit all the time. They sell their autographs. They do it all the time.
I never heard of that, and I'm in that industry. We'd have the meet
So
and
you
greet.
never heard of an actor taking pictures and doing it for autographs and nonetheless signing? And
I'm going to tell you about my experience.
I know, but I was talking.
I've been at many of.
Ma'am,
I said I never heard of that.
I know. So, but you want me to all of a sudden silence me so you can finish cutting into what I was talking about, right?
No, you asked me to explain, and I was going to explain. You asked the question, and then you went back to talking. So, do you want me to answer the question?
No, ma'am. Can I finish though?
Yeah, go.
Thank you, ma'am. So they do this all the time. Look, I collect action figures and pops, and some of these conventions they go to, they have all type of form of actors, are voiceover actors. You have former athletes. They're signing helmets, signing jerseys, signing posters. They selling that stuff all the time. When you walk into some of these collectible places, they have all of that stuff. So this is nothing new. And so people saying, "Oh, it's unusual." No, it's not. It's not. I remember getting a signed autograph, a poster of Walter Payton when he was still alive. R.I.P. to him. So it's not uncommon for that to be done. You maybe just the places that some people circle or don't go or go to, they don't do it there. But yeah, they do it.
Okay, sir, can I talk now? Is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Have at it, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So what normally I see is you purchase the memorabilia, okay? Like the t-shirt, the poster, or whatever, and then the artist or whoever the talent is, are going to sign it. It won't be an additional fee. So this just looks a little unique to me because it looks like you walking up and you paying $140, and here you go. Here's my autograph. Thanks for that $140. I have never seen it that way. I've seen it where I go buy this $40 t-shirt or I go get this cap and I'm gonna get in line and, they sign it because they're being paid to be there. So this is unique to me, to actually just pay for the autograph on a sheet of paper or whatever it is going to be on. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'd agree with that in that sense because I've seen that you have your merch counter. I looked up the event and it doesn't seem like there's anything else going on. Usually it should be paired with some sort of demonstration or some sort of something to sell the ticket to this event with everybody, but it doesn't appear there's anything going on. So that's why I do find it strange. But honestly, once you hit the casino circuit, it's like you're on the struggle bus. So, yeah.
Well, there are a few athletes that does this. I want to say at one point, Mike, he stopped signing autographs. And the only way that you can get it is if you super plugged or if he's doing it for a foundation or something. Because they know the value of whatever item it is that they're signing is going to have a good ticket number to it. So they profit off of it. So it's I don't think that we've seen it with athletes. I mean, with actors, but definitely with athletes, they absolutely do this, and it's done to prevent it being a bunch of autographed stuff being out. So now whatever is autographed, there's no value to it. You know, if everybody got it, then there's no real value. If it's less people with it, it's more valuable. So it's common but uncommon.
I would just think, do anybody believe that he is going to be able to pull it off successfully that way, where it's just walking up, taking a photo, and paying $140 for his photo? Do we think that he made enough noise within his career to garnish that type of fan base to do that?
Not at all.
It'll just be local. They're advertising it on the property right now, and they're promoting it internally, and they're hyping people up locally, but then that'll be it, in my opinion. Because they're going to give those for free to the VIPs.
Right.
Guaranteed.
Right.
Well, I won't be flying to Philly to get an autograph from Jonathan Majors at King of Prussia. Anybody else?
What if he comes to the Marriott in Chicago?
No. I mean, I'm not.
And you know, half of those autographs are fake too. I've met so many managers. They're like, oh, I've mastered this singer's autograph. Here you go, Allie. Hand him out. Da da da. And I'm just like, man, that's so disappointing. So it's like I'm sus on that too.
Yeah.
I feel like he just needs to call Tyler Perry at this point.
I think because of his accusations, a lot of people don't support him anymore.
Now, what's the best time to buy stock when it's going down, right? That's the best time to invest in certain stocks. He's going to bounce. He's going to bounce back. So if some of these people who's going to get a signature now for cheap, this what you're getting off is cheap. If you going, even if you pay 160 and you get one of his items signed, he'll bounce back. It's not like he's going to stay down forever because he's not a bad actor, right? And he's going to get another opportunity. We've seen some guys do worse than what he did and still bounce back. So I think it's about a matter of time.
Robert Downey Jr. is a good example of that. And look how he got to play. Robert Downey Jr. is a good example of that. And look at him, playing, Iron Man in the Marvel movies. So,
well, could you argue that he is as good as or better of an actor though?
Robert Downey catalog.
I would definitely take into consideration his career history.
So
yeah, he's been working for a while.
But that plays a big factor though. We have one guy that has a couple solid movies under his belt. Creed, I think Ant-Man. Aside from that, what the series that he had on Netflix, he really doesn't have too big of a portfolio. And in my opinion, I think that I wouldn't say he's a bad actor, but I wouldn't say he's a great one. As to where he could be a headliner, type of deal. So, but with Robert Downey, he's been in the game for a long time. His family has been in the game for a long time. I can't remember if he did Tropical Thunder before or after Iron Man. So
before.
So he had a hard ass comeback, to where it set him up. So the only way that that's going to work for him is if he gets some role that he absolutely kills. And then that'll lead him to get something bigger. But I personally don't know if he could really pull something like that off to where he would excel where it was that he was going.
Well, he's
Even
not. You
if
don't
he
see.
did,
He should. His goal shouldn't be to catch Robert Downey Jr. That should never be his goal. His goal should be to get back to where he was or better. That should be his goal. And like I said, I think he will. Somebody's going to roll the dice on him because like I said, he's a good actor. Somebody's going to roll the dice on him. I mean, like I said, Robert Downey Jr. did worse. He had a few DUIs, and I think I want to say I thought one of the people ended up dying in one of the DUIs he had. He played blackface in Tropical Thunder, and guess what? There's no backlash from that. They're not holding that against him, but that's what he did. So you got to look at the situation. You got a lot of actors did worse and still came out and be good. I mean, some people even say, look what Terrence Howard did, and yet he found a way to bounce back. Depends on how you look at it. I think it just so happens he did it during a time where it's the cancel culture, and so it's just so unfortunate. But I think he will bounce back. I think it's just the right director and right producer's gonna have to take a chance on him. Right movie's gonna have to take a chance on him, and just go from there.
Yeah, I mean, I won't discount his talent, but I think the accusations of domestic violence, assault, battery, I don't think most people stand behind that. So he can bounce back, but we just don't know how fast he's going to bounce back. I mean, we're still waiting on Jussie Smollett to bounce back. We haven't really seen him in anything.
Yeah, that's
not going to happen. That's his career.
So I mean, it's one of those things.
But we saw Chris Brown bounce back.
But Chris Brown is not Jonathan Majors.
Right,
It's
and that's my that goes to my point. That's my point. Like Jonathan Majors he's a decent actor, but is he a headliner? And in my opinion, he's not necessarily a headliner. So
yeah, I don't think we've seen enough of him in film to know that. I mean, he does do King the Conqueror very well. He had that great spot in the Loki series, the TV series. He played that fabulous. So I think that he just need to find another storyline that's going to definitely fit him, that he can own onto it, and then maybe he can build that steam back, because that's what we're just looking for him to build the steam back up in Hollywood, for people to want to look at the movies or the series that he's doing or he's going to participate in. Right now, he lost steam, and the only thing that everybody's worrying about now is reference to his relationship with Miss Good and his allegations against him.
So I have a question. So it seemed like everybody in America wrote off Chris Brown when he went through his incidents, except for Black people. Black people still rode with Chris Brown through and through, regardless of what happened with Rihanna. It came and passed, right? Do you think that we could ride for him if he does have another potential blockbuster film? Would we go out and support him? Because I think the audience and the community of people that either support his film or want to see him success is just as important. You know what I'm saying? As those who are willing to see him succeed. Because if we're still hung up on what happened last year, right, then nobody's gonna go out and support his films.
I was going to say, I think a lot of Black people would, because I think a lot of them did not agree with the fact that he was found guilty after they saw the incident on, that was taped. Just from what I was reading, they were saying that they felt like it was not like domestic. He was trying to get his phone or whatever. So if that is the narrative that most Black people are saying, that wasn't his fault, then I could definitely see people continuing to support him.
I agree. I think that there will be a population that would support him. I think the biggest difference between this and Chris Brown's situation was that after what happened with Rihanna and Chris took that bad boy approach. He embraced the bad boy image, the bad boy look. So that spoke numbers to women. Women typically, especially younger women, they enjoy the bad boy, you know. So he embraced this bad boy look. He started gang banging. You know, he a blood now. He getting tattoos now. So now, and he can sing, and he light skinned. You know what I'm saying? So he got all of these other factors that play a huge role for him, compared to Jonathan Majors, that, you know, he got in hella great shape. He looked amazing for Creed, you know, but aesthetically, you know, is that enough to push him over the top, you know, to get him out of that rut, to surpass where it was that he was going? And I mean, I hope that he can, but he'll have to make some superpower moves. I think another thing too that really hurt him was the fact that he let another nigga pick up his girl right in front of him. He ain't do nothing. So I think that was an extra little, you know, poke to, you know, where it deflated whatever.
They were testing him, Viz. They were testing him.
You know, that might have been another poke to deflate whatever, whoever would have stood behind him, you know, type of deal. You know, because all of that shit matters to investors, to the look, because that's what sells. So we'll see.
I think the difference between Chris Brown, or one of the differences between Chris Brown and Jonathan Majors, is age. So when everything happened with Chris Brown, he was younger.
True.
With Jonathan Majors, he's a full-grown adult, you know. So I think people can be more forgiving to someone that's, you know, early 20s, however old Chris Brown was, versus late 30s, mid 30s, whatever. So I think that's the difference in the perception of people who are watching. Everybody that's watching and judging, I think that's how people are making that difference in judgment.
Yeah, I agree. And speak like when we was even talk about Robert Downey Jr., you know, like I said, he's been an actor since he was a child. So people have actually seen Chris Brown, Robbie Downey Jr., we've seen them grow into adults. So we know that they're not perfect. We've seen them make mistakes before. Whereas we're now only being introduced to Jonathan Majors as an adult. We don't really know his background, his history, what he really, you know, what he's really about outside of what he tells us in interviews, right? So they're not going to be as, I guess, forgiving or show more grace as someone that you actually seen grow up. So I think that that's why it's a little bit more slower. People are passing more judgment now, or being a little bit standoffish. Then they're also trying to see how the situation with Miss Good and him is going to actually end up. Is it going to be long lasting, or is it going to be, oh, I'm just going to help you get back on your feet, and then now the relationship is going to be over? Is he going to revert back to the same thing all over again? I think these are the things that people are thinking about, because they don't really know nothing about him outside of this situation, really, and the work that he has done online. So
that was the question I was going to ask. Is, do you think because Megan Good and him, I mean, I guess they're in a serious relationship, that it's her role as the girlfriend to financially support him in the manner that she is at this stage of their relationship?
it's not her role, but we can definitely see that she does love him. And when you love someone, you know, whether how it looks, you know, you want to do for him at this particular time. If you want to consider it as her investing in him, then this is what she's investing for, because she believes that the love is true amongst them, right? She had a situation when she was married, you know, and she thought that was the love of her life. Found out that that didn't work out. They didn't really mesh well. And now both of them have coming from situations that were both public, that can also be something that, you know, kind of brought them together, you know, per se, like, you know, her marriage ending, his relationship ending, and all the speculations behind both of their relationships. I think that kind of draw them together. So hopefully, if she's doing this, you know, she's doing it out of investing him. They love each other, and this is long lasting. But I would not, you know, put it past me that people don't have doubt to see what's going to happen within their relationship going forward. Is this going to be a L for both of them or not?
All right. Go ahead, switch it up again, man. So I came across this Pop the Balloon reunion show. Shout out to Chanel because she was on Pop the Balloon reunion, first one. But they was having a conversation with this young lady about how she was. So she's a stripper. And when she came onto the show, she let everybody know that she was a stripper, and she was kind of viewed a certain type of way. And she came off as though she was insecure, according to a lot of the people that participated in the show, because whenever they would describe what type of woman that they was looking for, she canceled herself out because she knew that she would be judged differently because that was what she did. So some folks are just like, well, why did you even come on the show if you're going to keep popping your balloon for the reason you being a stripper? You have to understand what comes along with that. So they're having a dialogue in a reunion, revisiting that story. I'm gonna go ahead and play that and get you guys' reaction.
No, it's say right now.
Yeah. Do you feel like your job is keeping you single? Like, do you get in your head about it? Like, is that something that prevents you from putting yourself out there? Do you feel like?
Most likely, I'm gonna work with a guy that's working in the entertainment industry. So when I say entertainment, I'm not saying male porn star, male stripper. No,
Well,
music industry, sports. They're most likely gonna understand me more.
But you're
because
saying,
it goes hand in hand. Like,
no, I get what you're saying with that.
Cardi
But
B, like I look up to that.
you're saying, but that's why you popped your balloon.
All right. I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts about that dialogue. Go ahead, Closet Bay.
It was very contradictory. She was all over the place. She had said something about, you know, trying to change her, but she specifically said, hey, a man can come get her out the club. Wouldn't that be changing her though? So I don't know. Baby girl, we just gonna have to pray for her. Cause yeah. All over the place. She popped the balloon, and from what I understand from listening to the commentary on there is that she pops this balloon before hers can get popped, meaning she already knew what it was. Like, she already knew, you know, this man gonna know I'm a stripper or whatever, and he gonna eliminate me, so I'm gonna eliminate myself. So I think she know what she need to work on and what she need to do, and I don't think she want to do it. You know, because any woman who feels like they need to be rescued is not ready to do what they know needs to be done. You know, it shouldn't take a man to bring you out of what you're doing. If you want to stop, then you stop. So,
and that conviction is a motherfucker. It sounds like she's struggling to truly be able to find herself in what it is that she do and who she is. I personally think that I would say arguably at least 50% of women that strip, they're doing it because they have low self-esteem. I also believe that there are potentially some good men that would wife a stripper, because all strippers they not bucking everybody. You know what I'm saying? If they understand the game, then they understand that they don't have to. But the ones that don't know the game, they're the ones that selling it, you know what I'm saying, for a little bit of nothing. So I think women like her, and to the young lady's point, I forget. I don't see your name.
Miss Closet Betty.
Miss Closet.
You gotta say it together. Yeah, Closet Betty.
Miss Closet Baddie. Yeah, to her point, women like that, they need guidance. That's honestly where pimping played a huge role. A lot of women that was in that get caught up in that, they're looking for guidance. So either she's going to find somebody that's gonna pimp her, or she's gonna find somebody that's gonna take her out of there and put her in church. Either way, she looking to get saved. So, but it's unfortunate to see that she does have that low self-esteem. But it's common. So we gotta enforce the value of Black women, because a lot of women, they don't see the value in themselves. Because even if she saw the value in herself, she wouldn't pop the balloon, because she'll know that somebody, is going to be interested in her. Somebody is going to want her. Somebody is going to save her. But she feel like don't nobody want her, don't nobody save her. So I'm gonna shake my ass on this stage and get whatever little money I can. And who knows if she's selling it or whatever the case may be. But you can tell that she's just simply looking for guidance.
Well, oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just gonna say she is looking for some guidance, and just like an attorney, when people say that they doing music, it's a lot of people doing music, and it's one of those tough fields to be able to do and actually make it over the hump to be somebody when it comes to music. So I don't even think that it's just something that she was doing. I think she dances, that's what pays the bills. And I think she does music as a hobby until it takes off. And so she doesn't really, I don't think she has any other value that she believes that she can offer to the world. I actually watched the episode, and she was popping her balloons so quickly. And the minute somebody said they wanted a godly woman, she would just pop it. And she would associate her dancing to, he's probably not going to like me because I dance. And that's not what godly women do.
Boy, that conviction, boy.
Well, she's right.
Conviction tearing her ass up.
Yeah. So, and unfortunately, and I'm going to land soon, it's taken, I know.
Go ahead.
I'm not going that long, but it's a lot of women in pain. There's a lot of women in pain, and I don't think that they will ever get healing, unfortunately. Not saying that she can't, but it takes a lot. Just like discipline, when it comes to men having discipline, it's hard for people to get over these humps. It's not normal. You have to do work, and a lot of people are lazy in their mindset, and they don't want to do the work. So her in particular, she's a beautiful woman, but you can just tell that she just had a rough life. And whatever change that's going to come, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take some work, and a lot of people are not going to want to sign up for that project, unfortunately. And I think that she knows that, but she's kind of like caught in this matrix where she doesn't really understand how this transition needs to go. And her being so grown folks not going to come in and walk her through that step by step. It may be somebody, but they're not going to be able to have enough strength to be able to keep her in a certain type of way that's going to be able to push her through, because she's going to walk all over them. She hasn't seen it at all, especially in that strip club. And I think that she's trying to mask, like, that dancing is something else. That dancing has to be, there's nobody that can convince me to tell me that when they're dancing that this is productive. That's, to me, that speaks hustle. This is something that easy for me to do, to be able to get the money to pay the bills, because this is what I have to offer. Like, I don't see anything that's godly about it. But what other value do you have? So that's where the insecurity comes in. So I think it's just going to just be pretty tough for her to be able to come to the other side, unfortunately. And we can try. I'm not telling anybody that's in a corner to give up, but it's not going to be for everybody. Everybody can't be in that corner. So whoever signs up for it, that's willing to push it, good luck to you. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but it is what it is. But that's going to be a lot of stories that you're going to have to try to rewrite in order to get back on that path.
So I was going to say that I think I don't think she really wants to strip, right? But I also think that part of the saying, but I go to church every Sunday, is to try to present that there's some good in me. You know what I'm saying? Like there's some good I'm still wholesome. I'm still like to try to present a way in that you don't get caught up in the stripping part of it, because that's just one aspect. This is who I really am. But I also think that she's also being realistic in the fact that most of my opportunity for relationship is going to be limited once somebody finds out what I do. So I understand why she was popping the balloon. She kept, saying, well, other people that are in the entertainment industry would understand, and I would have more of a likely shot with somebody like that because they understand. But for me, the issue, which is what I've seen a lot of you guys talk about, I just typically haven't experienced it based in my circle. But I guess that's not her friend, but the other person that was on the show, the other female championing that behavior and trying to say, oh, let's turn it into a good thing. Like, let's make lemon out of lemonade. And that, I mean, you know what I'm saying, that just wasn't a situation in which you're necessarily championing, I'm getting tongue tied, championing that type of behavior. And so the fact that she was just saying, well, yeah, I'm looking at it from a good side. You're a nice person. You're a good person. You're very, humble and da 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 da. That's just one thing. You shouldn't be judged by that. Like, really, you're going to be judged by. Even she knows that she's going to be judged by that. So being the person that says it's okay, you don't want people like that in your circle. You want somebody to basically be like, well, let me help you look for other opportunities so you don't have to do this as a side hustle. You know what I'm saying? So that was the part that I actually noticed is the other females that was trying to encourage the behavior or support the behavior when no.
Miss
What
Sagan, my
oh,
bad.
I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead.
I was
What-
just gonna say what I noticed is she definitely seems to have the Cinderella complex. I think Mr. Viz said it earlier about being heavily dependent. She wants someone to save her, right? So that's why she's not really doing what she needs to do to actually get out of this industry if she actually wanted to. And also, what I'm getting from her too is that the reason why she is popping her balloon is because in her mind she wants the fairy tale situation as Cardi B marrying that rapper, right? And I think she's using that as like an image of, oh, that can be me. But then when she gets on these dates and she's not meeting successful rappers or people who are really into the industry, she's popping the balloon like, nah, that's not going to be me. So she hasn't accepted the fact that what happened with Cardi B is not going to, most likely might not be your story. That might not happen to you, right? But so she's just shutting herself down as in, oh, I'm not going to have that happen, but I want people to still accept me that I'm doing this. And then I have, like you said, mistaken, have all these different other, aspects about myself that is good and wholesome and everything. So to me, that's what I'm seeing with her. Like, she wants the Cardi B fairy tale story. That's why I brought up the Cinderella complex. That is her Cinderella story, being a stripper and having someone who's a rapper or someone who makes money to get her out of that and join the music industry with her. So I don't see a lot of accountability. I don't really even see that she actually really wants to get out of the industry per se, because she didn't really say anything about that. You know, if you really wanted to do it, I'm sure there's so many other things that she could do. I mean, she doesn't seem like she's what is it, like, she doesn't seem dumb to me. You know, if she doesn't, I don't get dumb from her, right? She's very articulate. She could do anything, customer service. She could do being a rep. She could be a waitress. There's so many other things that you can possibly do to be a supplemental income or a side gig while you're trying to work on your music, you know, career. So
if I'm gonna say this real quick and take my breaths, just to piggyback off of what Mistaken had said, I 100% agree with you. And even though this may sound contradictory to, in a way, to what I say often, but I think that if that is what you're going to do, be the best stripper ever. That's my
what?
If you're going to strip, be the best fucking stripper ever. You know what I'm saying? Because why have 1 foot in, 1 foot out of what it is that you're doing? You're never going to get that person that you want. If you're the best stripper ever and you know how to separate the sex from the money, the job from the money, whatever, if you know how to create that boundary where I just strip and I'm the best fucking stripper ever, it's very likely, in my opinion, that a man would come along and wife her and make the shit work. I would hope that she wouldn't want a Cardi B's life, because we all see what's happening now with Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? When you play in that pool, then shit, that's part of what comes with it. So I personally think that probably the best guy that she could get would be a square, you know, would be a guy that's, you know, he's an average guy. He just want to have a family, a wife, or whatever, you know, go to work, come home type of deal. I think that she very much could find one. But I think with her having 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you know, and being unsure of herself, that's the biggest reason why she popping. Because if I know that I'm the baddest stripper ever, ain't nobody fucking with me. I'm climbing to the top of the motherfucking stripper pole and sliding all the way down, and I know how to do all of this. I get a bag. Hey, shit, somebody is gonna fall in love with that. Somebody is gonna cuff her, and her confidence is what's gonna draw, you know what I'm saying, what it is that she wants into her life. So
I'm gonna tell you this though. When I was watching her, and I'm gonna go to you, Luis, after this. But when I was watching her, you can kind of tell that she's really uncomfortable. But she doesn't want to get uncomfortable, because even the pool of men that she's dating, she stated that people in the entertainment industry, those are the men that get her. So when she's limiting herself to saying basically that, she's telling me that she's not willing to give any other man another chance. So any other man is going to probably look at her and frown upon that. But people in the industry, they don't give a damn about her. You know, they understand how this stuff goes, and they're going to look at her being a stripper and this artist that's trying to get over, and they're going to just probably use her just for her body. Like, she is an attractive woman, but her dating somebody that's a good guy or somebody that she can kind of dominate, she's not going to be attracted to that. So she's really just in this bubble that she can't get out of unless she gets uncomfortable. And until she's ready to do that, she's going to keep getting the same results. That's why she's on the show, because she's not getting results. She is around folks that are in the industry, but they're not seeing her value. They know what it is already. And then the people that have the potential of seeing her value, she's scared of that, because she knows deep down, she knows that her stripping is a bad look to most people unless they're in the industry. But she can't really put everything together to say the guys in the industry, most of them are probably full of shit and they're probably not going to value me. But then unless I stop dancing and get on the right track, I'm not going to get results in this area either. So she's right in the middle of all of this. And that's why she's all over the place. That's in my opinion. But go ahead, Luis.
Yeah, no, that was a good take. Fellas, please stay in your daughter's lives. I can't stress that enough. This is a classic example of that. Stay in your daughter's lives. Shoot. She got me with the whole take me out of this lifestyle. It is not accompanied on somebody else's responsibility to remove you from the circumstances that you have put yourself into. I am the biggest believer of, God will never put you in a situation that you can't handle, but you can certainly put yourself in a situation that you personally can't handle, and the last thing that she walks with in her spirit is God. It's screaming, hurt. It's screaming on trauma. It's screaming, red flags. There's a lot of things that, unfortunately she needs to unpack in her life in order to get to the root cause of why she has gone down this path, what has taken her. I mean, she even said it herself. She started stripping later in her life. She started drinking and smoking later in her life. That wasn't something that was part of her social programming. It wasn't like, I'm 18 now, I can smoke, drink, and do all these things. She said that I started doing these things later. So if this wasn't part of your lifestyle and this wasn't who you are, then what are the things that have influenced you to get to this point? What has influenced you if you've never drank? What has influenced you if you've never smoked or stripped or elected to be in this lifestyle? And she also alluded to the idea that she used to pass judgment on people. And she was like, now I know I'm a hypocrite because she sees herself. She now sees herself in the mirror looking back at herself like, I never thought that I would be here, or I told myself I'll never be here, but here we are, right? And unfortunately, she's just trapped in a fantasy that she just can't wake up or walk away from. I understand about building momentum behind people who have paved the way for those who are coming behind them, whether it's in sports, music, entertainment, whatever sector of genre or music or even career path. You can't expect that you're going to have the same exact outcome as that person. That person had a lot of specific timing, specific location, relationship. There's a lot of things that came. One thing could have went wrong and their life could have been completely different, right? And people don't take that to account. Every single day that we wake up, we make a choice. We make a choice to either invest in ourselves or blaze the path that we want to go down to, or not. That is a choice. But understand that your outcomes are tied to those decisions every single day. And I think that she doesn't realize that it's not a cookie cutter, copy and paste scenario. The path she's trying to go down to mirror that of Cardi B. And I really, really hate, I'm going to be very honest. I really, really hate and discourage when women try to, encourage women to go and do detrimental behavior that is not good for them for the long run, right? Especially if you tied in and you're like, look, you're doing this and I know you're hanging in there and you're doing this for a little while, but you should consider, other avenues and alternatives, right? Like there's a level of encouragement. It's like, it's okay not to be okay. And it's okay not to be where you're at, but don't stay there. You know what I'm saying? It's not okay to stay there. And unfortunately, that coddling them, unfortunately, does more harm than good in the long run. And one of the things that I kind of got towards the end is that she made a lot of good excuses. Unfortunately, she took very little accountability about where she's at and the things that she should be opening up to talk about more. This is America, ladies and gentlemen, and it's very important that everybody hear me. This is America. There are people who are dying every single day trying to get here, to sit in the seat that you're sitting, to have the opportunities in the shot that you have, right? They're risking it all, family, friends, etc., to be here and to wash dishes or, go after that thing that they wanted to do. They just want that opportunity. And you're here with all these accesses and the phones and the computers and all of that, right? And you're able to network and leverage, your femininity, at least in this example that we're talking about, to better put yourself in a better light as opposed to just working in the nightlife, right? And I would say the reason why people overseas in other places, they might strip and they might involve themselves in prostitution and all of that is because they lack jobs. The reason why she does what she does is because she's lacked God. That's why she's hurt and she's lost. So how are you?
I missed some of the conversation, but I do know that with stripping, not that I've ever been a stripper, but I know of a few. I know a lot of times they get addicted to that fast money and they don't want to do anything else because it's so easy. And a lot of times they're investing in their education, they're investing in real estate, they're investing in their future. I didn't catch the end of the video, but it seems like you all were saying that she was lost. Like, what did she say towards the end of the video to make you all say that?
I don't think that she's lost, me personally. I think that she doesn't really want to leave the industry. I just think that she thinks that she's supposed to have the same type of situation that Cardi B happened. Cardi B being a stripper, Cardi B getting on a TV show, and then now was able to publish her first album that became successful, and look where she's at. Because when she mentioned about the type of men who she felt that would understand her being a part-time stripper, she was only talking about rappers and industry dudes, right? So to me, again, it's like, but then you want to say, I go to church every Sunday, right? So it's like I'm not getting from her that she actually wants to live this lifestyle. She is just looking for someone who's going to be comfortable with her to live this lifestyle.
Well, I say that I think that she's lost because it sounds like she's looking for guidance, and again, this is from my own experiences as well as admittedly at an early age, reading books on pimping, looking into Iceberg Slim, Pimpin' Ken. I grew up in Chicago off Do or Die. So that was a part of the culture. So just from what she's saying, how she's acting, how she's reacting, she has no confidence in herself. So when a woman has no confidence, it's easy for a person to come in and give her the guidance or give her the game in order to, get her to get some money, or achieve whatever it is that needs to be achieved. And be that if it's something that she wants to do or the person that's guiding her to do it. So it's one of those deals of where, again, if she's popping her own balloons because she thinks that she can't get a decent man because of what she does, then there's no confidence there. And if there's no confidence, then a person is lost because you don't know yourself. When you know yourself, you stand strong in what it is that you do, and so on and so forth. So it just sounds like she's looking for guidance.
Viz, I gotta challenge you on that a little bit, brother. Because if she's looking for guidance, what outcome is she getting from people within her own circle, right? The church is a community. You know what I'm saying? There are people that you don't tell me you just show up and sit in the back corner and, participate just, behind the scenes type of deal. Like there are people you're probably talking to, interacting with, or even know on some sort of level who might have an insight as to what you're going through and about your life, right? And as far as the conversation of the panelists who are on the couch, who were men who were telling her, like, this isn't going to secure you what you want, right? And as a man, I'm telling you that this is not what we're looking for, right? If
But
you want a certain type of,
somebody will cover though.
yeah, somebody will cover for the, okay. There's a huge difference between short term retention and long, short term, attention for long term retention,
For sure.
right? Somebody will come through, entertain her, throw a few dollars. Oh, I'm feeling you, gas her up left and right. Once they're done, they leave out the back door and they don't even leave a note on the dresser. Period.
Well,
Right?
yeah,
Nobody coming in to invest in her like, hey, I want you out of this life. Because she's too dived in. Like you said, she wants somebody to come into her life who's okay doing what she does. That's a specific type of man with a specific type of mindset who also equally shares the same fragile thinking that she does. Because you can't sit there and tell me that a man worth his soul who has a backbone is going to be like, yeah, honey, go ahead, go to the strip club and just do that.
I honestly think that there are men that would do that. And personally, I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that, because if that's what you're into, then that's what you into. You know, I, is even with the church thing. I think her bringing up going to church is her justifying, and is her justifying attempt to find balance in what it is that she's doing. She knows that what she's doing is wrong, and she said that she essentially doesn't want to do it long term, because that's why she does it part time. So to me, it sounds like the conviction is eating her up, to where it's like, okay, I have to balance this out to go to church. And she may be just playing the role of where she's just in the back of the church. Maybe she's not actually in the community. She's just going to say, I go to church in order to justify, in order to balance the fact that I'm a stripper. Yes, I'm a stripper, but I'm a God-fearing stripper. You know what I'm saying? So to somebody that's going to make sense. To somebody is going to be like, you know what, I see gold in this woman, and I'm gonna get the gold out of it that I can. And I mean, we see it. I personally don't think it's that's simping, because if that's what your intentions are, that you want a family and you see yourself creating a family with this woman, and where you can take her out of the club, because that's what she wants. She's looking for somebody to take her out the club. So if that's what a nigga choose to do, then hey, more power to you, because it might work out.
Man, this is why I said, man, we're the most Christian, non-Christian group of people to walk this nation.
I'm just being realistic. Of course, I have my own morals to where I personally wouldn't engage into it, but there's going to be somebody that's open to it.
There are men who would marry her, right? Like I have known women who ended up stripping and they ended up being married, and they ended up being married for a very long time. But it definitely depends on your mindset. If you're actually trying to just be married and have a family and stuff like that, but she's not even really even calling for that. What she's literally calling for is someone who's a part of the same industry as her, who understand her role, what she has to do. They probably have their own things of what they do. That is what she's calling for. I don't feel her calling for her to be married. Like even when she said, why don't you just come get me out of there? Does that even talk about I want my man who loves me, who's going to, be my husband, and we're going to have this family? Like, she's not really talking about that. It's just like she has this mindset is, hey, who's going to come and get me, and who's going to be, I guess, the supplement to me not doing this side gig? Who's going to fill that void? And in that's going to be a problem if she's looking for somebody else to fill that void for her not to do that. It's not going to be successful either way. So it's her mindset to me personally. If she really wanted the relationship, if she really wanted the marriage, like I said, she's a beautiful girl. I don't see no reason why that can't happen for her. But she wants to remain in the industry. She wants to remain in this sort of lifestyle, and she wants someone who's going to be okay with that. That is what she's looking for.
I don't know. To me, I can tell you, I didn't like her vibe at all. I didn't like her vibe at all, and I think she screams manipulative because there's a difference between overcoming things like adversity when with situations you can't help, like you grow up in a very poor environment and you come up out of it. But she intentionally planted herself at the grown age of 27 in a strip club, and then she goes on the show having that other lady champion her to be like, oh yeah, like I didn't like that. I think that's very manipulative to act like you're trying to overcome adversity in the dating game and trying to receive I think it's very manipulative. And then to also say, oh, well, I haven't been in the club in 2 months. Well, you are checking in with your tricks at the club to stay connected. You know what you're doing. Like, and then you throw in I'm a godly woman. No, I think she's delusional, manipulative, and I don't like her vibe. And then she goes on the show to try, like I said, to act like she's overcoming adversity when she intentionally is doing it. And there are many other streams of it. You're 27. You've only been in the strip game 4 years. And you mean to tell me you can't find other avenues of income? So that tells me you're just going back every 2 months to check on your regulars to make sure that they give you money on the side. So to me, it's a setup. It's completely a setup. And I think it's gross. I think it's gross behavior. Like, she knows what she's doing. She's no victim. She knows exactly what she's doing. This is not an overcome adversity moment. And women who support stuff like that, it's just, I don't know. It's toxic. I don't like it at all.
So apparently she's 32. That's what somebody updated. She's actually 32. Look, strippers have a shelf life. Can't be stripping forever. You know?
She's checking in on her tricks. That's all she's doing. Every 2 months, she obviously doesn't need the money. She hasn't been there for 2 months. So then she's bullshitting everybody. Excuse me. She's BSing the entire time. Like, she's just doing it to be like, oh, I'm a stripper. Feel sorry for me. I'm in the dating pool. I had to pop my bubble. Oh, I go to church. Like, stop.
Well, I mean, stripping is fast money, so I could see how she didn't work in 2 months. That's kind of normal in that industry to take time off like that. I'm sure she could make in one night what somebody could probably make in a month. So if she's trying to, invest in her music career, that could be why she's stripping. But I mean, I don't know.
So then, to Viz's point, if you're going to be a stripper, be the best stripper ever and be about it. Don't go on a show and pop your balloon and then cry about, that to me is manipulative. Like, pick a lane.
She probably just went on the show strictly to be seen on the show.
Yeah, that could be. Yeah.
I mean, she did point out that she popped her balloon because she didn't feel a connection with anybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't she say that?
I didn't see the initial show, but I think she popped it immediately right away for everything, right?
Yeah, she popped it immediately. There was no conversation.
Yeah, so she probably did.
Sounds like she just went to be seen.
Right. And also to be able to be interviewed, to have the conversation that she was having on the couch, which leads me to believe that she doesn't really want to live live outside of this life. She doesn't, like she's comfortable. She's comfortable with it. However, it's just
what's she doing?
She just wants someone who's going to be comfortable with her doing this.
I mean, if she sat down for 2 months, I think she sounds real comfortable with what she's doing.
I'm around celebrities every day. Like, I'm really working in the entertainment industry. So what I mean by entertainment industry is music, modeling, and acting. And being a boss that I am, and like a woman of God. The stripping that's just a 9-to-5 side hustle to me once in a while, once in a blue moon. That's not my life.
Okay.
You know, so it's just
I'm good.
So her life is music and her side hustle is stripping. And then she goes to church. Okay.
Hey, her life is
She's a
hoeing.
bad woman. Okay, let me ask
And then
this.
she's crying about the dating pool. Like, stop. Like, it's weird.
Y'all just talking all the way around this bullshit. Look, her life is hoeing. You gotta let a hoe be a hoe. Shout out to the ghetto boys. They said it first, man. They said it right. It is what it is. Y'all don't want to say what it is. And that's part of the problem with some of them women on this panel right now. Y'all not holding this heifer accountable. That women should have been held accountable at that goddamn reunion meet, but none of them did. They justified. They talked up. They said, one of the women said, I support her what's that, her hoe hustle or her stripper hustle or naked hustle or something, she said. That shit sounds crazy. MJ, I don't know why you could sit there and say this woman ain't lost. She's lost. And the reason why she threw God in it, because she didn't want no motherfucker to judge her stanky hoe ass. That's why she threw God in it. Only God can judge me. Every man should judge your ass. Soon as we let you know what you do, your career is, your decision making. You a hoe, you a stripper? Oh, hell yeah, I'm judging you. I know what you are. You a good night. That's all you are. You 20 goddamn minutes and you a lifesaver, get the fuck out. That's what you are.
Oh, she get 20?
A man shouldn't respect her ass. Now, part of the 20 minutes is getting her ass, put a drink at her, and getting her to the bedroom, getting her on out. I'm giving her that Shannon Sharpe. That's what I'm gonna give her. At 10 goddamn minutes and she out. But let's talk about the situation, man. Look, this heifer is crazy, man. And the women on that show was trying to justify that bullshit by clapping like, no, girl, just don't worry about it. You can do what you want to do. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Everything's wrong with it. She's a heathen Monday through Saturday, but then she's right, sanctified, filled with the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? With the good Lord on Sunday. No, man. That ain't how it goes. And only man gonna take that woman is a sucker. She gonna find a sucker to take. That's the only man gonna take her. That's the only man gonna wife up a goddamn sucker. A fool will wife her ass up. She don't deserve to be a wifed up. She don't deserve a good man. And then she said that she idolized Cardi B. Please believe, I bet she got a poster in her room with Cardi on it. And she probably goes by and worships it along with that good white Jesus right next to it. I bet she does on a regular basis. But that's my idol. I looked up to her. I want to be just like her. Strip on one night and go get an album on the next. You know why she took them 2 months off? She had to give that cat time to heal because some dudes in the club are beating her ass up. That's the reason why she took them 2 goddamn months off. Not because she was tired. Not because she was doing anything else productive.
Wait.
Goddamn club. That's why she needs them 2 months. That healing time.
Wait, is she a prostitute or a stripper?
Oh, man. I believe 90% of them strippers are prostitutes. They selling ass and they selling their cat. Come on now. Don't act like they not in there doing it. $600, they gonna go in and do a private dance for show. We know what type of private dance is gonna end on a happy and good night.
Can I ask a question to the men?
Go ahead.
Have you all been to strip clubs before?
Yes, I've been to a strip club.
Do you all attend church too?
Have all? Yes.
At least once. At least in life. So does that make you all less godly?
Yes.
Because you've attended strip clubs?
I'm a reform heathen. I can admit that.
Yes.
But guess what I don't do? I'm not sitting there giving them heifers no goddamn money. I'll give my wife money. She can strip for me. At least I could get some return on my investment. I'm not gonna go in no goddamn strip club and pay these raggedy whores to do what? To get my dick hard and I'm going home dry meat? I'll be damned.
It's just a question.
But see, that's the thing about it. Like, you could go one time and never go again. Like, the difference is that they're trapped into that life and that lifestyle, or at least she has put herself in that particular circumstance, right? You know, like, look, there's a ton of ways of how you can make your money, and obviously, you know, I don't want to pass judgment on her or how she leads her life, but you know, it does seem like she's gone through a very rough patch, you know. And
And when
I
you
don't
come in
know
looking for
how
love,
she,
you put in that.
Do you think it was a show though? I don't believe her. I think it's a show. In the
yeah, maybe,
she acting.
maybe, I don't know.
Like, Daddy, give me some more money. You throw some blue bills, please.
Man, hey, Hank, I definitely agree with you. At the same time, just realistically, we need hoes.
Oh my God.
I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm just keeping it a buck. We need hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like hoes, prostitutes, strippers. That has been a thing since the beginning of time. So that's never going to go away. That's a part of the cycle of life. That is a part of every economic system all across this country, where somebody is selling pussy, somebody is stripping. Is one of the two, or are you doing both? Hoes make the world go round.
Yes, Daddy.
So you know what I'm saying? Although I personally don't agree with it, but it's always going to be somebody that does it, and vice versa. It's always going to be a trick. So as long as there's tricks, it's always going to be a need and desire for hoes. So somebody got to do it. So if you're going to do it, be the best fucking hoe out here. Be the best stripper. Get your money because it's out here. So I personally can't knock it. You know what I'm saying? I'll judge, and you know, oh man, you know, shorty ain't that ain't nothing or whatever. But hey, if that's what you went to, that's what you went to.
Wow, that's a comment that you said earlier that I was like, yo, if that's what you into, that's what you into. I can't what do we knock? So if in fact, let's say somebody like kids, do you knock that? Yes,
absolutely.
You do. Well, then how are you gonna sit there and say you can't personally knock something? You
So
personally knocking that?
if you like kids, then you're victimizing someone. You know what I'm saying?
And manipulation
it's a completely different thing, in my opinion.
Manipulation isn't victimizing.
So me personally, I feel that manipulation is everything. What the exact statement that you just made, that was to manipulate me to feel whatever type of way, to agree
Not
with
at
you
all.
or disagree.
It was a question.
Well, no, I understand that, but me personally,
manipulation takes intention.
I'm just hear me out, brother.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Me personally, I feel that the term manipulation simply has a negative stigmatism has a negative stigmatism and context to it. I think that manipulation, we manipulate things every single day. Right now, we're manipulating the internet. I'm manipulating this mic in order to transfer my voice. I'm manipulating my limbs, my tendons, my vocal cords. This is all manipulation. So for me, the word manipulation, it doesn't have a negative ring to it. So it's just something that we do.
Valid point. If in fact you ignore context. So to your point, context is important, and the context that you use it in what you just said is not negative, but there is also a context that is negative, and we need to acknowledge that and stop ignoring that. Context doesn't matter.
So what context are you talking about?
So what I'm saying is, when I use manipulation in the context I used it, that was definitely negative. In the context you're using it, I definitely was manipulative, because what I was doing is shaping it into something. I wasn't using that context, and it's a very clear, definitive distinction between the two. And when we ignore the context, we ignore the ability to communicate. So I agree with what you're saying when you're using the word manipulation in the way that you said. To you, that's one context. But you also have to understand the context that's being used in order to properly be able to embrace what the person is saying.
All right, let's get it back on the topic.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry. When I came on, I was literally coming on because I saw y'all talking about the young lady, and a lot of great points were made. I was waiting for Hank to come in because I saw him itching at it, and Hank made the point that I was going to say. We're sitting here acting as if there aren't clear indications of where this lady's self-esteem is very low, and she's disguising it with her confidence, so to speak, is what they said. But really, you can change a person's condition, but it's the mentality that's necessary to change. And that's what's the problematic here. When they talked about the girl brought up the Bible story where the Jesus touched, she was looking for change. So she was looking to change her mentality, not and condition. But in this case, she's not trying to change her mentality. She's trying to change her condition. She's trying to get into a lifestyle and a place that she'll be in another place, but the mentality will still be there, which will lean her back towards continuing those behaviors that she seemingly is ashamed of.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I said that I didn't feel personally that she really wanted to give up the lifestyle. And Mr. Hank, when I said that she's that she's not lost, the only reason why I said that she wasn't lost is because she wants to be there. Like, she actually, to me personally, she wants to be in that situation. The people that she was even talking about dating is people that she said that she sees on a regular basis, whether it's at the side job or whether she's at the recording label, trying to do her music. So she's only trying to surround herself with that. That's why I said that that's not a person who's lost, who's just only getting, like, I guess, bad information. Yes, we did see the woman coddle her and said that everything was okay, but truly, to me, and what I guess Miss Allie, if she does come back, what I was seeing was she was just being very manipulative, at that interview while she was sitting down on the couch with everybody. It was like she was trying to have a coming to Jesus moment, but then don't I guess don't address me about the elephant in the room, that maybe I should not be doing this if this is not what I like, and if I don't want people to only reference me of doing this, being a part of this profession. That's why I don't feel that she was lost.
Interestingly enough, being in the entertainment industry, there are a lot of people who are lost. There are a lot of people who admire the lifestyle, but don't understand what you might have to sacrifice in order to achieve it. And so that's the missing element that a lot of people don't. So yes, she does want a certain lifestyle, which most people do, but the compromising of your integrity that comes along with it at times is something that you don't factor in. And then by the time you do get to the place where it's exposed to you, you've already compromised it often.
I can definitely understand that. But see, then again, if she let everybody know, she didn't even have to, right? But she let everybody know that she considered the side, being the side job of being a stripper was a 9-to-5 thing. That's not who she is. She's creative. She's a music. She's an artist, right? By her even letting it be known, is, to me, is like she doesn't really feel shameful about it, right? That was the reason why she let everybody know about it. And then at this point, if you're okay with that, then you shouldn't get mad that there is going to be some people who's going to judge you on that. And there's going to be some people who's like the lady that was on the couch rooting her on, right? It comes with the territory with certain type of professions like that. At the end of the day, people still frown upon you being a stripper or a sex worker, even though we know that is something that always has happened, and it's probably never going to go anywhere. So, you have to have that type of tough skin to be in that game. And even being able to, me personally, I will look at it like, and if you're that tough to go out there and strip and stuff like that, then you have heard everything under the sun, or been called anything under the sun, according with dealing with these type of men, or been addressed in this type of way. So I would have expected her to be a little bit more tougher than what she was displaying on on the couch. So now I'm kind of questioning whether if it was really sincere or was she just using this as a, coming to Jesus story. I really want to be saved. Someone please come and save me. Or get me on another show. This is another route that I could take to get into a different career. Like, that's what I'm starting to look, put things together. That's how I'm seeing it.
That's interesting. And I want to say this. She's disguising her shame because it's clear that she's ashamed of what it is that she's doing, although she's describing it like it's fine. This is what people do, and making it as if it's something that she is condoning. And that's part of the problem is that's not being addressed. If she wasn't ashamed of it, there wouldn't be so many other attributes that we can see, church being brought up, basically trying to excuse this low self-esteem that she is putting right in front of our face. But no one's addressing that. Perhaps you have low self-esteem and you need to build that up. Perhaps you are you are doing something that you don't feel good about, and that's why you're justifying it by with all of these excuses. Cardi B, she used as an example. Cardi B is one who probably did the same. She compromised a lot of stuff early on, and she continued. But the thing is, the difference with Cardi B is she intentionally understood what her goal was, and she did the hard work on her reality television show to make sure that she was going to use that platform to launch her music career and get credible through music. And she's one of a few who was able to accomplish that in reality TV, because the reality TV money comes in and you start forgetting about the hard work that it takes to be a musical star. And they both take hard work. And so if she really wants to be an artist, she has to really work hard. And she doesn't seem like she's in a position that she wants to do that. She'd rather get the easy route to some of your points that y'all made earlier. And that's part of why we're sitting here having a conversation about her, and she's missing the whole point. Yeah, if that's what you want to be, there are no shortcuts. To my man's point, you gotta work at whatever it is. Be the best at whatever it is you're gonna be. But it's still gonna be work to be that best.
Well, one of the problems is, man, that this look, she's past her parents. It's obvious with that. You can't no longer blame it on her parents anymore, because she said she started stripping at 27. So it's beyond her parents' fault now. Now she needs to get an elder woman in her life to have a serious sit down, come to Jesus conversation with her. Is she ready for that right now? I don't know. Why ain't she talk one of the elders in her church that she supposedly goes to every Sunday to have a conversation with her about maybe, having a lifestyle change? I'm not only just a lifestyle change, a mindset change. Because her mindset is going to have to change before her lifestyle changes. And she doesn't seem like she wants to do that. It's obvious. She's still in there, even though it's only been 2 months ago. She's still doing a damn thing. She's going to go, look, she probably went to the strip club and danced a little bit right after that show, right after the taping. You know what I'm saying? Just to make sure she still got it. But she needs to have a conversation with the elder women in her life, or elder woman in her life, or elder woman in her church to get her back on the right path. Because it's obvious, to me, she's off the beaten path. She's lost right now. She's searching for answers. And I don't think she's getting them from when she went on that show. Because when you got women like that upping you, that's not helping you. They're more of a hindrance than that help.
Yeah. But I'm going to switch to this last thing. So Shannon Sharpe did confirm that the video was true. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip and we'll get into it.
Yo.
For a number of reasons, people count on Shannon. Shay, there are a lot of people that count on Shannon to be professional at all times, and I always try to be professional at all times. Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of. Even when I'm behind closed doors, I still try to remain a level of professional, although I'm in the privacy of my own home. And I'm very disappointed in myself. Not for the act. I think there are millions and billions of people of consenting age that engage in activities. But to have your most intimate detail on the audio to be heard, I'm disappointed in myself. I let her call them. I called my sister. My friends, obviously, my friends reached out. But guys, this was not staged. Came in, I threw my phone. Staged. Came in, I threw my phone on the bed. Engaged in an activity. I did not know IG Live. I've never been on IG Live. I've never turned IG Live on. So I don't know how it works. And so all of a sudden, my other phone is going off and people are calling me FaceTime that I've never talked to a day in my life on FaceTime. And it didn't, I'm like, why are y'all calling me FaceTime? And after a while, Jamie Fritz, who's been my longtime marketing guy, he finally got through to me and he says, Shannon, you on IG Live. I'm like, doing what? You know, I'm like, what am I on IG Live for? I ain't hit no IG Live button. He says, they can hear. I'm like, so now, Ocho, you know, I say ask for patience. He said they can hear. And now I'm starting to get agitated again because you called me and say I'm on IG Live when I know I didn't click myself on IG Live. And he said they can hear me. I said, hear me doing what? He said, it sounds like you were having sex. Man, my heart sank. It dropped. And obviously, I run my accounts, but Jordan being the good Samaritan, the good soldier that he is, Jordan the one that cut it off. Because hell, I didn't even know it was on. Jordan cut it off. Jordan put the message up. And then after I called my agent, the agency, I called ESPN after I just got this good, tell them the truth. I said, I just got to tell them the truth. My phone wasn't hacked. It wasn't a prank. It was me being a healthy, active male. I mean, y'all thought I was bull jiving. Hey, I'll get it in. Real talk. Hey, Ocho, see, I don't, man, I'll be lying. Okay, lying.
Come on, man.
These sparks hard, Ocho. You know, I hit one early this morning.
Come on, man.
In all sincerity, I'm extremely embarrassed that a very, very private, intimate situation, the audio can be heard. And I'm extremely disappointed in myself. 5 minutes before I came on, phone rings. It's Cat Williams. What's up? The first thing out of his mouth, guess what he said, Ocho?
Oh, wow.
You ain't gay today?
Hey, listen.
I said, man.
Listen.
Come on, Cat. He's
and this is the funny thing about it. Now you remember all the people talking trash and saying whatever they had to say, trying to assassinate your character, that you might be this, you might be this, or whatever it may be. So hell, I mean, I'm sitting back, I'm thinking, well, hey, it was a goddamn Michelle, it wasn't a Michael.
I ain't gonna lie, man. When he first started off, and he nearly took me out when he said, "I'm also professional behind closed doors." I was like, "You got a camera?"
Hey, yeah, no, this shit definitely fake, man. If they took the conversation there at that point, then it's like, no, you did this intentionally to prove a point. So what he was doing at first, he should have kept going and left it there, much rather than him switching it up and Ocho making a joke of, oh man, motherfuckers thought you was gay. Oh. It's like, no, okay, now we know you gay for real, or at least you bisexual at the minimum. You know what I'm saying? It's like you damn near just put yourself in that box where it was like, okay, we feel the empathy in the whole thing, because at the end of the day, you're a grown ass man. Whatever endorsements that you have, it's not like that's gonna burn you because you having sex. Everybody has sex. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that we can only hear you, it's not that big of a deal. But if you gotta go and y'all make a joke of it, and Cat Williams said this and Ocho saying, no, bro, just if you bisexual, man, just say you bisexual, bro. It's 2024. You know, we got 76 genders out here. Motherfuckers want to be cats and dogs, and hey, go for it, man.
Yeah, I definitely believe it was intentional now after hearing that, because I don't know who literally throws their phone on the bed and it automatically hits live and goes to the IG app. First goes to the IG app and then hits live. Like that does not happen. That does not happen with the type of phones that we have today, right? So yeah, I'm not really believing the story. And then after having the whole, conversation with Ocho in reference to let everybody know, well, Cat Williams came out and he's endorsing me that I'm not this anymore and that anymore.
Come on, man. God damn.
To being very intentional now.
Yeah, there's a lot of steps for you to go live. You gotta have one, open the application or have it on or already open. Then hit the plus button, and then you gotta hit the live button along the bottom thread, and then you gotta hit go on live. Like there's a whole process.
It was too much steps.
It's not like as easy as just simply butt dialing somebody. Like there's a whole sequence of events, and for it to be on live already, I don't know. I don't buy it. But
the logical thing that he could have said, man, I was filming myself, engaging. Even if he went into detail, this is a story that would make the most sense to me. You doing your due, you film, you record it. Boop. Hey, hey. You end it. You just so happen to maybe you recording it in Instagram and you save it. I know some people, they take their pictures and videos and Snapchat or whatever and save it on their camera roll, but they don't post it. Maybe that's what he was doing. Just so happened, he slided over to the live. Maybe so good. No. He accidentally hit that ball twice. But
that's hilarious. Yeah, let me tell y'all what I saw, because this is the first time I heard about it just now. And I got a phone call in the middle of it. So when I came back, he was saying, Justin is the one who ended the live. Justin is the person who told me about it, and he's the one who stopped it. So I'm thinking Justin is who he's in the bed with, because I didn't hear the rest of it.
Yo, you stop. Yo, see, that's great point. You stopping mid pump to pick up the phone to talk to one of your boys is wild. Because if you're actually in the action, you'll be like, yeah, I'll deal with that later. Right? You're in the moment. You're doing your thing. Afterwards,
if a bunch of people calling you back to back, you're gonna answer that phone at some point.
Bro, the phone is on do not disturb, man. Let me get this straight. Are y'all telling me that y'all have your phones on volume up, non-silent while y'all at it?
Oh man, well, let me say this. I used to mess with one of my.
Y'all wild.
Obviously, his phone was not on do not disturb. If he kept getting phone calls and finally picked it up,
it should have been. That's the whole.
It wasn't though.
Yeah.
That might be some light skin shit, bro. That's some light skin shit. Hold on, let me put my phone on silent before we.
Absolutely, I throw that bitch on do not disturb.
I never hear that. It just have to automatically go there. But I just pull the app up. Right? So if the app is closed, right, you have to press Instagram. You have to press your home button, which is your profile pic. Press the plus sign. Press live. Press the button that says go live.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
He could have just said it was an accident.
That's a lot of steps to go live.
Yeah, it's fast steps. If the app is closed, it's fast steps.
And he said, I never went live.
Has anybody ever pocket dialed somebody before?
I think it's easier to pocket dial than it is to actually go live. Like there are several prompts that you have to do, at least 3. So even if the app was open from you, you still got to make sure that you press the icon on the bottom right, and then press the plus sign, and then press go live. or press live, then you got to press the middle button to go live. So there's just too many steps for somebody to accidentally do it.
And then he said that he doesn't even go on IG. So we can't even give him the excuse that that's one of those selective apps that he would put on his home screen or something like that. He said he doesn't even use IG. That's
And
something
then-
I guess his man, his team does for him.
And then I don't understand how somebody else can end your live.
Right. While you're on the live.
Probably because he has his passcode, access to his page, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Shannon, my man's. I fuss with what you're doing, man. Hey, bro, but it's 2024, man. Just come on out. It's cool. It ain't gonna fuck up.
Man, living your truth so nobody can use your truth against you.
And then we seen it all the way to the end too. We've seen it all the way to the end. So if somebody called you, like you finished, you were done when it ended. I don't know how somebody could have called you to warn you that it was live. It's like they waited to the end and then decided to call you.
I mean, what's funny about it?
He said he got two phones, so they was calling him on the other phone, and I guess his other phone was the one that was supposedly went live.
Yeah, but he still finished though. It sounded like they both climaxed. So somebody climaxed is what it seemed like.
Yeah.
So that you can't really explain that.
They heard the ringtone.
Is it me or was Justin his publicity person? And we heard of this saying called publicity stunt. That is something that actually exists. And to the point that was made earlier, if you think it all through, it definitely can come off like a publicity stunt. And that stunt to be able to distract from the sexuality rumors that he's been faced with, that he's trying to eliminate.
Well, I think it worked because we're here talking about him.
The publicity, definitely. He's getting the publicity, but did it work to where it threw us off of the trial of him being bi or homo? Not really.
I never thought he was bi. I never thought he was bi. Did you all think that?
Any man, in my opinion, and I'll take my breath after this, any man, in my opinion, that carries a man purse, you teeter in that line.
It's a satchel. I think that's what the proper term is. It's a satchel.
But what's funny is
it's
not
a purse.
just the satchel. It was the outfit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't just the satchel. It was the outfit with the satchel. Is what made men, I know myself in particular, start questioning. So no one thought or even went in that direction, perhaps unless they were close around him. But when that satchel with that outfit came out, that definitely brought in the ding 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 ding, the highlights and the red flags, if you ask me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, for me, it was when he's carrying the dog. I've seen a lot of men do that. That seem to be the trend, but don't wear in the purses, even men in their 40s and 50s. If they keep themselves up, I see them want to stay relevant. But it was him carrying his damn dog around in the way he was carrying in the airport. That's what seemed suspect to me. I don't know too many men walking around with dogs. And that type of dog.
So do we think all the athletes who dress trendy are bi?
Most of the time, yeah, most of the time we do think that.
So we're judging
entertainers.
But you talk about 80. You talking about 80% of the NBA and the NFL then?
Well,
right. So I'm saying, do we think all of them are bi or gay?
Well, I would say this: some of the ones that I've seen in person that I did not think, and when I did see them, it was questionable, and a lot of feminine attributes were oozing out of them, and I didn't realize how effeminate they were. And so, yes, I question it, and yes, with this younger generation where it is a popular and or trendy thing to do, I question it even more.
Could they just be fashion forward?
Fashionable is questionable at times. So let's be real. The fashion industry, especially fashion forward, as you just described it, is questionable.
Yeah, but Sean, the fact that you use the word goozing out of them, man, it sounds questionable.
Oh man.
Oh
So
man.
should we judge each other off of the words that we use? Should we think that you're bi because you use that term?
You can you can think it. Hey, it's fine. I'm confident enough to where a thought doesn't really bother me. But the point is that if that is something that I'm concerned with as far as my sexuality, then I might want to try and take heed to what he's saying and change some of my verbiage.
Yeah, his outfit, like don't get me wrong. He works out, right? We know he works out. He's in the gym or whatever. I get that you're trying to show maybe a certain physique of yourself, of the progress that you've made, or that you're in shape, whatever. I get that to an extent. But when your outfit is tighter than the women's spandex at the gym that I usually go to, then I'm like, okay, like, what are we doing here, bro?
See, Lapeef, that one doesn't concern me as much as that other one in front of that liquor store when he got out the car. That one, whatever. He picked up his dog out it, whatever. But that one when he got out the car, I don't know if you have that. Ooh.
Did he have on like orange or something?
Yes, orange satchel with that green. That one is the one that I think people got questionable. And you know what I'm saying. As a woman, what do you think about when you saw that?
Hold on.
I think you have to dress.
Well, does it look like he's got that dog on a leash? So you know, you can't just walk around in the airport freely with your dog, and he doesn't look like he got a leash on.
Yeah.
I think
so. I don't know. You know, maybe you should pick your dog up because you don't want to just walk you let your dog walk free. Something happens to your dog, or your dog mess around, gets away and bites somebody. Now he got a lawsuit coming. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know about that carrying the dog right there.
I agree with you, Hank, on that. That's why I said that picture doesn't really say it as much to me as the one in front of that. The one in
I know what. Yeah.
That one.
He was in front of the black truck. He had on gray and a orange man bag.
Yeah, that
I think I think as a man, you have to know how to dress your body, just like with women. I believe he has a stylist. So that was probably one of the options. That outfit in particular, I didn't like on him.
Okay, I'm glad that
I don't think it complimented his body at all.
I'm glad that you coddling his behavior. I'm just
I mean, that was one outfit. I haven't seen like everything, but I know that one went viral on social media. Everybody made skits about it and everything. It was funny, but I don't think that's a reflection of his sexuality.
I'm not. I'm just messing with you. But let's just put some notes out there. His stylist is openly gay, and he is taking heed to what his stylist says. Now, whether, it was rumored that his stylist, which was the person that he had been going to some games with, might have been something more than a stylist, is where it all started.
Be something more like what?
Like something more intimate, because he was taking them out to the games. They were sitting in the front row with one another, and people questioned that. But he said, "That's my stylist," so that deflected it all. And then some of the continued stuff was what you saw afterwards in front when he got out the truck. So it was a couple of things that added up to people starting to speculate. It wasn't just one thing.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, he has children. That doesn't mean that he couldn't be, but he has a kid or something, right? Like a daughter.
Yeah, but Kelly, so do a bunch of men in Atlanta.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it doesn't mean anything. I know better, but I'm just saying. I mean, even if he was gay, I think he would have a even bigger fan base. So I don't think it would hinder him.
Us men, we don't particularly have an issue with you being gay or bi. We have an issue with you being down low. because
I
then
mean, I think women do too. I
right.
don't think it's just a man thing.
And that's what I think is really the problem, as I believe Mistaken just said earlier. If you're doing it, just come out and say that's what you do. Nobody will care, or don't deny that you're not. You know, you don't have to come out because it could be risky to whatever. Cool, got it. But you don't have to sit there and say, no, I'm not, if that's what you are. Just be like, yo, that's my private life is nobody's business. Blah, 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 blah. You there's ways to, yeah, but he just is like I said, I'm not accusing him of being anything.
You think he's trying to prove a point?
I didn't think so until tonight. I didn't even know about this. And when I heard it and the points that were made, I was like, wow, I didn't even think about him staging this. I didn't hear about it, so I didn't know about it, but him staging it is pretty practical. It's logical the way that it was just described. I can't even front.
Yeah, but why would he do it this far out of when he was being accused of being gay? Why would he wait this far out? It's almost been almost a year since the accusation.
It is. That's the one.
Oh no. No. No, oh no. No.
Here's the final stop of the day. 2-1. Final stop of the day. 2-1.
Yeah, nah, that wasn't the best option.
It's been almost over a year since them allegations came out, but he just recently decided to prove everybody wrong now with this stunt. Yeah, that's what why would he wait this far out?
Because it's getting closer and closer.
He had leggings on.
He's being gay or something. What do we
Revelation seemingly. When you're that public of a figure, it's difficult to hide that long. It's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of different elements that come into that. I've been in the industry and seen a lot of guys going through it. And a good example would be somebody who's been even longer and been trying to prove it, that speculatively is said, which is Diddy. For a long time, he's been deflecting, dipping and dodging, and nah, this not it, and even doing very things that will be that will counter it. Having a lot of women, nah, it's just about these women. He's been doing a lot of things. So I don't know why he would do it after a year, but it ain't something odd to me. If something, if something is starting to boil up or dwell from his past, or something is starting to surface that, is coming a little bit more often, the speculation.
Well, hopefully he's not what people are making him to be. And if he is, that's his business.
Great.
Yeah. Let me get to these super chats, man, so we get up out of here, man. It's long overdue. AP Accountability Partner, $2 says, the ref got us, Allie. We're going to be a good season. Who's playing tonight? Is the Ravens?
No, he's talking about that Kansas City Chiefs and Ravens game from last Thursday.
All right. Congo English, $20 says, J.R. Well said, especially these days, most people are fighting your mindset in a world that titled to Babylon. Dale Matthews said, get the likes up, member for 23 months. Salute to you, sir. Which is on the panel right now, 499 super sticker. Thank you, sir. And lastly, Big Ann 11, $10 says, Hink, I got a question, bro. What's a stanky ass? I need to upgrade my vocabulary for the game.
Come on.
Oh man.
You gonna answer this question?
Can we get a definition?
Hell no. I ain't answering the goddamn question. He's one of my biggest haters. Thank you for your service, Big Ann 11.
Well, with that being said, man, I want to thank everybody for joining tonight, the people that's on the panel, and also want to thank you, Sean, for coming up, giving your perspective. If you're catching the replay, hit the like button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel and the Lapeef Network and Lapeef Experience. Want to thank you guys for your constant support. Shout out to all my green gang that's out there. Click that link that's pinned to the top, man. Go ahead and get your assured, man. And if you're looking to get your skin in order, man, go ahead and fill it tees. The link is in the description. All right, y'all. Thank you.